I think this is going. Yeah, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm so sorry. I have to apologize. I'm going to lead with that. I've been so busy playing on the little bit of free time that I've had, and I've not put together a lot of videos over the last couple of days. But man, Beyond Light has a lot in it right now. A lot of PvE content, and I've not even touched PvP since the last time I did a video. It's just been too busy, and I am at heart a PvP player or PvE player, so it's worth noting that this is when I enjoy the game the very most. So I thought I would share with you a little bit of this excursion and what I'm trying to do, and you probably by now recognize where I'm at. Um, I'm in the quest step for the exotic sword, and you're supposed to find dead exos. And I knew where one of them was, and I located it already, but now I have to find the... See, there's another dead exo, by the way. If you want to know where another one is, it's right here in Braytech. And you'll recognize it instantly. Once you've played through this a few times, you'll know exactly where I'm at. I'm in the Braytech facility near the beginning of it, and what I'm looking for is the giant exo. And this is one of those places that's easy to skip through. And by the way, I am going to skip up here just a little bit, because that's just dead time. When you come into this room, what you want to look for is you want to look for this open door. Now, if it isn't open, directly across the room is a panel that will open it. And that's it. At this point, you basically are going to follow your nose. And I'll just let you watch my path. I just meandered, and actually I was searching around for other things because, and I don't know if you've picked this up yet or not, but in Varrix's area, there is a trophy room type area, and the same for the camp near the south end of the where the Exo Stranger and the Drifter and Eris Morn are camped out. There's also a trophy area in that area. So when I find these new areas, I like to look around for a minute just to see if there's any collectible I can pick up, and you know, set it in the trophy room. There'll be triumphs associated with that, I'm quite certain. I haven't looked, but that's how the game works, so I'm sure that's the way it'll be. I could have just run right through here, but man, this is gorgeous. I just love the color palette in here. I mean, this is very sterile, very laboratory sort of look. Although it's not just bland white. I mean, they mix some solid safety orange in it with as well. And I do think it's striking. This is a pretty facility. There aren't that many enemies. There are some, but it's mostly you're coming in here trying to discover your way around. And I'd also like to take an opportunity here to note that I really like this scout rifle that comes with the expansion. And again, I'm at loss for the name of it, but then I'll just keep chattering here while I look that up. You follow the radar, and it looks like for a second, and I figure I have to drop down that broken elevator shaft there. All indications are that you would, but I still want to see if I can get on that shuttle here in just a second, so that's what I'll attempt to do. You'll see me try it. It doesn't work, but it almost looks like you can get into the side panel and ride along with it. The name of that scout is the Royal Chase, and honestly, for PvE, it is really very good, at least in low-level content. Now, I've not done the raid, and I don't know that I will because I have to hook up with other people. I mean, I could watch the videos, I could learn it, and I don't know what's involved. I was just watching Astacross, and their group took 12 hours to do it. I think the first group did it much quicker than that, but that's not been legitimized by Bungie just yet. And by that I mean that this time around, instead of taking teams' words for it, they are going to actually verify it through back channels, whatever that means. And I'm assuming it means they'll look at their end of it to see if there are any flags for cheating or any sort of hacks. So the other gun that I probably would point out that I got that I kind of like, I got the friction fire submachine gun. I'm pairing that with this gun, and that actually, the Royal Chase friction fire combination is actually not too bad. And then I also am using the Corsair's Wrath. This is also a solid offering, although it's a linear fusion rifle. There's nothing really special about it. I decided to try to jump up in here, and then this is where you realize there is a wall there, and there's no way in the world we're getting through. Even if I'd gotten in the shuttle, there was no way I was going to get in. All right, so I want to jump down level by level just to see if there's anything sitting on the levels. That's why I'm being so cautious. I could easily jump down here, but I just want to look around and see if anything is there. All right, while I'm doing that, other weapons that I've found that are actually kind of fun. The Deafening Whisper grenade launcher sends out a void wall, and breech load grenade launchers right now are actually pretty good in regular content, even at your lower light levels. This is like the Martyr's Retribution, where you fire the line of flame a single time forward. You just drop it in front of a line of enemies and it kills it. This is void. And I could see potential for this in strikes in particular on void burn days, where this would actually clean up ads pretty well. And breech loads aren't hard to use. You pair that with a breech load scavenger or a grenade launcher scavenger and maybe a reloader, and man, you could really tear it up. I don't do too bad with it, even, you know, where I'm as a player. So I know others will really make a lot out of it. See if there's anything else here that I wanted to share that I'm really digging. Oh, and the Adored is a solid sniper rifle, but I'm telling you, I still like the Supremacy better. And that's a matter of preference, because there are people who will tear it up with the Adored just like they did the Beloved. It's not as good as a God Rolled Beloved, but it's probably 80-85%. And for most, that'll be enough. That will be plenty. The Crowd Pleaser grenade launcher, that's the heavy grenade launcher. That's a solid offering so far. That what I've been using that on, and it works pretty well on, is the big mechs. I don't know what they call them, but that are in the open area. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of anteaters there. Ugh, and it just drives me crazy. So I'm halfway through that and get tossed all the way back. So I'm going to scoot this up. And I shared that just so you can see just how frustrating this is. And I pretty much just take it right back to here. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a lot of errors. Let's see, what else did we get there? I don't care for the rocket launcher that they offered this time around. The other... Yeah, I'm sorry, that's Siri. The Blaspa 2 is actually pretty solid as well, as grenade launchers go. Beyond that, I do like the bow. And the bow is the Biting Winds. There's some very interesting rolls on that. I got one last night with Explosive Head. I want to try that one out. I think that could really be a crowd clearer if used correctly. But you know, mainly it's a good combat bow, good mobility, good accuracy, and yeah, I'm really digging that. All right, so there's that, and obviously, no time to explain, is just a top tier weapon. Don't need to go on about that. And finally, I've had a few good rolls on the Halen Confusion. Pulse rifles, especially the 340s, are very, very good right now. I've not tried any rapid fires in Guiding Light. It seems like, or Beyond Light, it seems like everything is hard hitting. So slower rate of fire, and that's okay because they work pretty well. And I think that's probably all I would offer at the moment. I've not really done too much with the older weapons other than Gnawing Hunger and the Ikelos SMG. I still use them a lot. And Supremacy, it's still a weapon of choice. But beyond that, I'm using the Beyond Light weapons, and I'm not missing the others. I decided to jump in there, and look what it does. It takes you back to the top. So if you want a shortcut to the top, that's the way to get there. All right, I'm going to scrub this up a little bit. Take us back down there. Okay, that's back where we were. I'm trying not to make this take too long. But I did want you to experience a bit of what I experienced. Now, the whole thing here is that you're just making your way across these platforms. It's obvious that I need to go left there, but there's no direct way to get to it. So I stopped jacking around looking for stuff. It is pretty. I wish I'd taken some time to look at the skybox, but I can always go back in and do some exploring. Which, you know, Beyond Light is fun just to explore. I had one session, even though I'm trying to level up, I had one session where I just spent an hour, hour and a half just walking around because I just want to enjoy it. Sometimes we rush through stuff so quickly just so that we can be first to do something or, keep up with the Joneses, as it's an old American expression. Um, but who cares if you do? I mean, take the game at your own pace. And if you're a person who wants to do it fast, that's cool. But, if you're a person that feels rushed all the time, well, don't. Right now, this character's at 12:45, which is solid enough. I mean, it wasn't at the time of this. It was like 12:42, 43, something like that, I think. But, um, once you're at this level, you can relax, even as a solo player for the most part. Now, I've not gone into the legendary lost sectors yet. I'm going to do that today. But, just general content, there's not much that's going to tear you up. And there's the big Exo. There he is. And we're going to go up here in just a second. I just want to show you where he was and what you needed to do. Locate the giant Exo hidden in the Exo facility. There it is. We now know where we are. He's got a couple things to say, but I'm going to cut it off there because I don't want to spoil that. I just wanted to show you where he was. And then the rest of that, you can discover yourself. But with that, I think that's probably enough content for this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out a little bit if you got stuck. I don't want to show too much. I want to be helpful, but I don't want to be, in a situation where I'm completely exposing everything there is to know, because I think a lot of the fun is discovery. So with that said, this is Iron Bill, and I am signing out.